Thank you, Judge. Stop whining about all these things. I have two guests joining me now. First, here on set, Joanna Greenwald. She's a criminal defense attorney and a former prosecutor. And Alex Hernandez is also a criminal defense attorney and a former federal prosecutor. Thank you both for being with us. Joanna, first to you. The most interesting thing to me is the complaint that allegedly the state's attorney's office sent to the Bar Association about Mr. Baez. It's not a formal complaint. It's a FYI. Here are some facts you might want to know. The defense wants the whole prosecutor's office recused. This is nonsense, right? I mean, we're all pro-defense here. We're falling off the left end of the table, but let's face it, this should go nowhere.
It should go absolutely nowhere. I think that this is likens to me like a playground, and now it's about bullying each other, or I'm running to mommy and saying, I'm going to tell on you. But the thing is that this has nothing to do with anything. Had this been something where he was truly being investigated criminally, then we would have a prosecutorial misconduct situation, and potentially an ineffective assistance of counsel situation, which is very interesting because the judge here, for people who don't know, his name is Strickland, and there's the Strickland two-pronged test for ineffective assistance of counsel. So I just love the irony in this and in this case, and I just think that this is about bullying, and you can really see this is the beginning, just the tip of the iceberg of how much do they hate each other and who's going to tell on who and who's not dotting their I's and crossing their T's, because as you had said earlier, everything is for appellate review right now.
Right. Alex Hernandez, it does strike me this is going to be a very, very long proceeding and a little more professional courtesy. Greenwald, now that we're in a short break, what do you make of all of this? They don't seem to have much beyond her statements, and her statements seem to be the product of a profoundly confused and disturbed person.
I think that this is what they have, a big egg, a big zero, a big nothing. I don't think they have anything because, one, they're charging her with felony murder dealing with the arson. And to have an arson, you have to have, one, the evidence of a burning. We have that. But two, you have to have the evidence that a criminal act occurred. We just listened to Beth. They don't have anything. And the fact that she had some statements, some were suppressed. So, and the fact that she's diagnosed as borderline mentally retarded, as well as someone who suffered, and that she hears voices, sees her dead father in the jail cell with her. Okay, all these things combined at once. I don't even see how we got to where we're at.
Well, okay.
I'm very upset.
I mean,
I'm very upset.
You'll have to get over it, at least until the next witness. Albert Elien's still on the witness stand. They've broken their break. Let's go back inside the courtroom and listen. Okay, while we're taking that sidebar, Joanna Greenwald, this judge seems extremely to be a stickler for evidence. I mean, making objections and sustaining his own objections even before the defense lawyer has a chance. Hearsay, 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 hearsay. Can't do that.
I like that, and I like it. But the thing that I want to say is, because I keep watching this, and it's almost I wish I could go right into there, because I want this case dismissed. And the fact that you say that he's being a stickler for the evidence, when this prosecution rests, and I know you've gone over with me, there's been 39 witnesses and counting, that when the prosecution rests their case, there should be a trial. I would try to get this case trial or dismissal because they haven't made their case. They've got nothing so far to me.
But of course, a trial order of dismissal in most jurisdictions is appealable, whereas a jury verdict of not guilty is not.
That's true.
Right.
And what you want to know is she sat there for 10 years. I know they could do an appeal, but if they have no evidence of what she's charged with, what do you got?
Well, the appeals court has not been kind to this judge in the past. That's what's taken.
I guess that's the risk you take, right?
Alex Hernandez, is this woman, Joanna Greenwald, to you the question of competence? Yes. I once heard the competence formula expressed as follows: if you know the difference between the judge and a grapefruit, you're competent to stand trial. And unfortunately, that seems to be what the standard, fairly close to what the standard actually is.
Well, apparently they use that in this case because just by looking at her, okay, and I am not a psychiatrist, but the fact is she's charged with crimes that are asking for mens rea, meaning that you have an intent. These are intent crimes. Is she able to form the intent? One, of an arson we haven't seen it, and two, to the felony murder, which is the arson that led to killing. Can she do it? I don't think so.
Right, but Alex Hernandez, the defense here is interesting. The defense isn't her mental deficiencies prevented her from formulating intent. The defense is she didn't do it.
Correct.
And Joanna Greenwald and Alex Hernandez. And it's time now to check in with Jamie Floyd to find out what's coming up